A magnitude of 4.8 earthquake struck near the southwestern county of Buan on Wednesday morning, the strongest tremblor to hit the country so far this year, causing walls to crack and other minor damage, but no injuries have been reported.
어제 아침 전북 부안군 인근에 올해 들어 가장 강력한 규모 4.8의 지진이 발생했습니다. 이로 인해 벽이 갈라지는 등 일부 경미한 피해가 있었으나 인명피해는 나오지 않았습니다. So, for those of our listeners who tuned in yesterday during our live show, the alert was sounded. And so on my phone and on Karen's phone and all of our staff members, we heard the sort of beep, beep, beep. And, it was during the live show, so we were all a little taken aback.
Sure.
We took a look at our phones and lo and behold, it said earthquake around Buan. So tell us more.
Well, the earthquake, I guess as you mentioned, it happened during the live show. So it happened at 8:26 a.m. to be exact. The earthquake had an estimated depth of 8 kilometers. Now, Jeolla Bukdo, our North Jeolla province, if we were saying it completely in English, rarely experiences earthquakes, right?
That's the thing.
Yeah, and it was the first time that it's ever experienced, that there's ever been an earthquake with a magnitude of more than 4 in that region. And the thing that I found is obviously the fire department received a lot of phone calls from people in North Jeolla. They said about 80 calls, but the National Fire Agency said they received around 200 calls from residents in other regions. In North Chuncheongdo, we can understand that.
Yeah.
But they said even they received 7 calls from people in Seoul.
Oh, wow.
So I found that kind of shocking.
Yeah, exactly. I remember yesterday morning we had some listeners saying, I'm tuning in from Daejeon. I felt, shaking in the office. But we didn't have any listeners saying they felt it in Seoul, but as you said...
Apparently, according to the National Fire Agency.
Wow. So there were several aftershocks, and people did feel the trembler. Let's have a look at that expression.
Yeah, so this is an interesting word because I thought it was a typo when I first read it.
Okay.
So there's other words. There's temblor and tremor, which is actually the most common one. A small earthquake, not a big earthquake. Now, I had to look up this word tremblor, and it's a little bit of sort of a controversial word, actually.
Is it?
It only first appeared like in the according to this one website I found in the early 1900s, and they say it might be a mashup of the words temblor and tremblor with an ER, which is a person who trembles. So many English speakers do not consider tremblor a legitimate English word.
Okay.
And I didn't either until I read this, but it is in the Oxford Dictionary.
And it means?
A tremor, small earthquake. A small earthquake. Tremor is the word that I would use.
Right.
If I was writing this, I would
lot.
not put this word in because I didn't think it was an English word.
그래요. 영국 옥스퍼드 사전에는 등재되어 있지만 이제 레이 선생님이 좀 생소하다는 사견을 주셨습니다. 지진이라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 tremor와 함께 알아두시면 될 것 같고요. tremblor라는 단어 tremblor입니다. And there were reports of minor damage.
Sure, right. When something's damaged, something can be damaged. It's broken or harmed.
Yeah.
We can think of damage that way. A person can be damaged if they're hurt emotionally.
Yesterday, there was a lot of property damage.
Sure.
As it says here, cracks in walls. There was a broken window, I believe.
When things are broken, you can think of it that way, when something breaks.
Exactly. But obviously no injuries.
Which is the important part, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's the most important part.
Absolutely. 자, 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. A magnitude 4.8 earthquake struck near the southwestern county of Buan on Wednesday morning, the strongest trembler to hit the country so far this year, causing walls to crack and other minor damage, but no injuries have been reported. Now let's move on to the second headline.